series. And this time on Dire, we have Pro on the position 5 AA. On our safe line Terrorblade, we have Mio. Mid, we have Shatter on the Razor. Off lane, we have Tiny on 13, and Booker dual laning with him, it looks like, as the Nyx Assassin with a 6 set. Over here on the Radiant side, we have X on the safe lane Luna, Monica on the position 5 Rubik, the Boy Wonder on position 4 Earth Spirit roaming around, Zipzap playing the mid Broodmother, and on the off lane we have Syl playing the Bat Rider. Syl just going ahead and placing down that ward. Was able to do that outside of Vision of Pro, but he might place the sentry down regardless. Let's see whether he decides to go for that. It does look like we're going to get 2 and 2 on the runes this time. And Pro is just looking for Syl, not really thinking about the ward there. Alright, so Shadow's moving back to go ahead and get the block. Earth Spirit is blocking over here, so this is going to be a block that is one for the Radiant team. Booker walked by. Looks like he placed down this ward over here. And Shatter going ahead and pulling up the damage from the Broodmother with that static link. Going to get 35 out of it right away so we can get those last hits early in lane. Meanwhile, on top lane, we do go ahead and see Booker and Pro are sitting up here. There's going to be a cold feet onto Silver, as well as a couple right clicks just to harass her out of the lane. Mio, meanwhile, up here. Nobody actually got a stick against this Bat Rider, but that probably will be rectified quickly. Yeah, Mio definitely plans to get a stick as soon as he gets to the side shop. We go ahead and take a look at any plans for any other players that we have. I don't see any. There's going to be another cold feet, but no follow-up with the Impale just yet. Not really getting the space for that. Shatter, meanwhile, does have his level 2. Zipzap doing the same, but Shatter eating up a little bit more damage. Not quite as much this time, only 15. And just clearing out Spiderlings with his Plasma Field. Meanwhile, on the off lane, we have 13 going in onto X. X just getting a little bit of harass damage out with that Avalanche. He has the tree, but he's going to walk back into the other trees so that he can regen up with that Tango, of which he did start with 6. Meanwhile, I take a look over here. Boy Wonder, still level 1 with no XP to speak of, really. Looks like he's going to go down towards bottom and try to get a gank off here onto 13. But 13 sitting in the trees pretty comfortably. We'll have to see whether this is actually going to work out. Meanwhile, mid lane, we can take a look once again. Shatter actually being harassed out this time by Zipzap, who has managed to keep most of his Spiderlings alive and is starting to dominate this lane early with 10 and 2 to the 9 and 0 of Shatter. Booker, meanwhile, moving around to grab the rune from the Radiant side. So 3 runes on that first bounty rune spawn. Going to the Dire. And still actually losing out on XP in lane. Not a whole lot since it wasn't her tower to check that rune for herself. Shatter, meanwhile, still doing alright in mid, 9-0 to 11-3, so not a huge... Although some of those are going to be Spiderlings, so actually that's a little worse than it looks for him. But he does have enough in the Plasma Field almost to kill off the Spiderlings with just the field. And once he has that, they will just be food for him, and he should take good control back of this lane. Taking a look down at bottom lane, looks like the gank was attempted on 13, but he survived just fine. He even has a soul ring up at this point. Looks like he's getting a little bit more harass damage out without using the soul ring onto X. And there was, or looks like there's a dive happening here. Zipzap going after Shatter. Shatter's trying to use the Plasma Field to get alive, but that is going to be first blood going to the Broodmother in lane. Just from a solo dive. And the TP, for, Booker TP'd back to base, that's why. Pro, meanwhile, has gotten his level 3 up, but it is a dual lane here. Syl and Monica both together. And Shatter immediately just TPs back to lane. He's not that far behind, and actually with all the extra mana he has from being dead in Fountain, he's able to harass Zipzap out pretty effectively. Not stopping the farm just yet, but he's hoping for one more level, I think, before he really starts going to town. Booker here has his level 2, and it looks like he's going to grab some runes and then head towards bottom to help 13 out with this Luna and Boy Wonder. And if we take a look at the last hits and denies, right now it's actually pretty even overall, but definitely there's I guess overall it's actually completely even. 22 and 0 to the 17 and 7 in mid versus the 20 and 10 to the 20 or 18 and 15 for the safe laners. Shatter unfortunately not able to get any spiderlings killed off with that level 3 plasma field, which would have been a huge boon towards him and would have given him really good control over this lane. But Pro has come back in to go ahead and try to make something happen. He might just die though. There's going to be the plasma field. It does kill off quite a few spiderlings. He gets some last hits. Booker's here to follow up. He gets an impale off onto Broodmother. A couple more right clicks onto Zip Zap. Shatter has one more, but it's not going to be enough. Actually, he gets two going into the tower there. Boy Wonder trying to go in, but he's actually blocked by Booker. Pro will eventually die to Monica in the end, however. Shatter gets lifted under tower and is going to go down as well. Another impale onto Monica, but that is not going to be enough to actually secure anything. So in the end, it was 2 for 1, killing off the Broodmother. Actually, Booker is taking a lot of damage here, too. To the Spiderlings and the, what is that? Telekinesis. Not Telekinesis. Fade Bolt from the Rubik. One final impale just harassing out, but it's going to result in a couple of denies. Shatter actually getting run out immediately. Once he gets back into lane, he's going to get pulled back, but since that is under the tower, they're not going to go for it. Looks like there is some action happening up towards top. Silver has a couple of stacks up onto Mio, but he does get frozen. Since he got frozen, he's going to be stuck in place long enough that Mio should be able to get enough right clicks off with his Metamorphosis. One more will do it if he's able to catch, and that is going to be it. Actually, with the wand charge, Pro's right click secured that for Mio. But the wand charges and the salve going to get Mio right back up to full and just farming this lane like nothing ever happened. If we take a look down here, Booker is going to secure some more runes for himself from the Radiant team if he's able to not get caught out by Monica here, which looks like he'll be flying with. And he blocked a stack? No, he just was there. I'm not sure what he was doing with that. Mio, meanwhile, does have some more stacks on him, but he has plenty of wand charges with the oil going out and just casually denying up, doing quite well here, but not as well as the Luna, relatively as well as the Luna, but focusing more on the denies than the last hits. Definitely reducing the amount of XP that still is getting out of the lane versus 13, and I would argue that Tiny definitely does more with a lot of levels, while Still can do more definitely with that level 6 as it comes up. Looks like Syl is going to go for a drum here, eschewing the blink since this lane is not really going amazingly for her. And 13 is going to go for the blink by contrast. Take a look over here at mid. It is now 41 and 0 to 31 and 8 for Shatter, but a lot of those are going to be Spiderlings, so that is a little bit misleading still. Excuse me. And actually, he's going to get run up by Zip Zap. He's going to go ahead and use his Static Link, try to make things happen. Boy Wonder comes in with the roll onto Pro's babies, or Pro rather, and he eventually is going to have to walk back past Shatter, who does have the Purge up. He's going to be able to get one more right click off from the uphill, but he doesn't want to go onto Zip Zap directly. He knows he only has a little bit of time left for his spell, or for his damage steal, and he's actually going to end up maybe going down. No, the Purge doing a lot of work there. There's another static field. Maybe he can deny to the creeps, and he is going to deny to the big creep there. There is also a follow-up impale from Booker, as well as the mana burn to make sure that Zip Zap has no mana left at this point. Monica chasing Booker down, but it looks like it's not really going to make a huge difference. Let's see what happened up in top. Why is Mio being so afraid? He doesn't want to use wand charges and has 4 stacks of oil on him, so he's just backing off while still pushes the creep wave out with the Firefly. Monica taking a tower shot to attack, I think, Mio once. And Booker's actually sitting over here on the sidelines. He does have a soul ring up, so he has plenty of mana for his spells. There's going to be oh, the 2-man impale out of the cold feet, but it wasn't quite enough, unfortunately. Mio has a little bit extra damage from the chilling touch, but he's just going to use that to farm up since the impale into cold feet didn't quite pop out. A very nice 2-man impale, though, just not quite the range for the cold feet to finish it up. A couple more last hits from the plasma field here. Just eating up as many of those spiderlings as he can get his hands on. Excuse me. And if we take a look down here at bottom, X is actually doing quite well on the farm game as well, though he's barely ahead of Mio at this point. And it looks like, what is he working towards? Probably has something coming out in the core here. Oh, he just got an Aquila. Is that really all? Oh, he has a Midas. Okay. Yes, opting for that early Midas there. Let's see what Mio's grabbing. He's going to get the Treads out of the Wand and the Aquila. Oh, and we have a DC. Probably still was having some lag issues. She was having some issues earlier tonight as well. Let's see what else is around. Monica does have a smoke in her inventory. Has Brown Boots and Wand completed up. Nearly finished that Arcane Boot on the Rubik. Booker, not really got a whole lot unless the Courier is coming to him. No, the Courier is coming to Pro. Just some consumables for him. Has the boots up, but that's how 5 goes, honestly. Boy Wonder, meanwhile, working towards his Tranquils. Nearly has that up. Only 200 gold away. And Luna with the Midas, of course, just doing a lot of work on the farm game this game. And he's going to start skyrocketing in net worth before too long, I would expect. Yeah, we take a look, actually, even though the last hits are very well in favor of Shatter, like I said, because he's getting a lot of those from Spiderlings, the Broodmother has more total net worth by a significant margin, actually, although part of that is the death that Shatter has. Where is that in the new UI? Here it is, 3 deaths compared to the 2 and 1 of Zip Zap. Who else can we take a look at? Still, like I said, is going for the drum and does have that nearly completed. That is just a... Let's see, that's the bracer and a recipe, right? All right, I forgot about the windlace as well. So not quite as close as I thought, but still going to have most of it. Like 400 away-ish. $13, almost all the way to his Blink Dagger here. Only 650 from that. And as long as he's able to survive the rotations from the Earth Spirit, since Rubik is focused, or since Monica is focusing so much on these 2 lanes, he should... Oh, that's unfortunate that still works that way. Since Monica is focusing on the top and mid lanes, 13 should be able to farm that up without too much issue. And he has plenty of tangos to burn through as well still. There's a rotation coming from Monica onto mid. No smoke being used, but it looks like this is being baited out by Shatter maybe. He does have Booker over here to keep him alive. And he's totally okay just getting all those Spiderlings out of his plasma field and walking towards them to right-click them, because that's all he really cares about at this point. And there's going to be a Chilling Touch, but probably just going to be used to farm creeps up. And Shatter just, you know, getting a nice little bit of net worth out of that rotation. And the counter rotation, of course. However, this does mean 13 is able to keep hitting creeps down bottom, and he's going to get a couple more. But the real story, of course, is going to be this Luna, who did just bring out a style for luck. And is going to start surpassing everybody with this Midas, and I presume stacks? No stacks, but jungle is still nice and quick. There's a DD sitting up here. Booker may go ahead and grab that, even though it's only level 3. Start looking over towards Zip Zap in the jungle, which means that Shatter is going to be going ahead and hitting this. Oh, I did miss the kill over here. They were able to get onto him with the Eclipse. Not even the Eclipse. Wow. Probably was playing really greedy there. Still has 1,700 gold, though, so he's okay for a while in terms of getting his Blink Dagger timing up. Taking a look at top lane, still... What am I missing? She had more gold. Did she finish the wand and that wasn't showing before? She didn't have it before. That's probably the case. Once again, disconnecting. If we take a look over here, Ancient Apparition actually getting the opportunity to hit some creeps in the lane, which he's going to be very satisfied with. That should allow him to go ahead, excuse me, go ahead and pick up. Are there any wards in stock? I cannot tell. All right. Pick up any consumables that he needs. Mio, meanwhile, working up his Yasha here. Keeping up with the 2 cores of... Actually, everyone's keeping up with the 2 cores of the Radiant side quite well. The overall net worth is very close, actually, because... Yeah, it's within 500, because even though the 2 cores on the Radiant side in mid and safe lane are doing quite well, still is actually a little bit behind compared to 13, so... Overall, a very even game. And the other thing about this game that I like for the Dire from a drafting perspective is that they have 3 strong cores that can really do a lot of work into the mid and even into the mid-late game, which makes it difficult for Batrider to choose a target to pick. And in addition, if the Dire heroes can actually take out the Luna either before her Eclipse does a lot of damage or before she even casts it, or if they're able to take out Zipzap just at any point, there really isn't a whole lot of D-push on the Radiant side. And towers are going to melt very quickly on any success from the Dire team. So Radiant have definitely a much higher difficulty of execution in this game because they really can't take any unnecessary deaths. So we get back into the game. Everyone's ready to go. We see a TP down to bottom lane from 13. Just gonna hit some more creeps. He's like, yeah, I died. I'm just gonna go back. It's not really that big of a deal. And gonna hit some creeps up. Gonna do some damage onto X with the cleave as I do so. Top lane looks like there's gonna be a rotation in from Booker and Pro. Still does have that cold feet on her. She is not gonna get out of the cold feet before the impale this time. So that is gonna be a death with the metamorphosis. And still goes down very quickly to that. Mid lane, meanwhile, there's a rotation coming in from Monica. Does have those arcane boosts completed. Looks like he's going to use them over here on Zipzap, probably, as he gets in. Maybe. And Shatter just farming up the creeps and pushing out the wave with his plasma field. But the spiderlings are a high enough level that... Oh, not a level thing. There is an Ice Blast coming in. The spiders actually were taken out of the Ice Blast, but Shatter only has to hit Zipzap a couple more times and he should die. He is pulled under the tower and a Fade Bolt doing a lot of damage to him, especially with that negative magic resistance bonus from the Null Field. And he's actually going to die from that attempted kill due to the rotations of the Radiant supports. However, top lane is going to go down pretty much immediately, knowing that that is free for him to take, and still with the meta up from the kill onto Syl earlier, Mia just grabs that out. Still has 17 wand charges, not even hurting for those in this lane. Take a look over here at 13. Has just finished his Blink Dagger. And you know, for the rotation onto the Luna, is able to kill her off immediately. That was a 1-2 punch. That was just disgusting. And gonna have that Midas negative efficiency coming out as well. Mid lane does go down from the earlier rotation. There is an attempted an attempted impale onto Zipzap from Booker, but it's not really gonna land there. Booker kind of just hoping that Zipzap would path over the cliff there, probably. And 13 just farming up jungle now, it looks like. Maybe they're going to smoke. Do they have one? No smoke, but maybe they have one coming? Nope. Just sitting around using the shrine and getting ready to go for another rotation onto top lane. Looks like X wants to get Mew here, but I don't know if he's clicked him to see if he has all those wand charges. And there's going to be the reflection. Oh, Batrider has disconnected once again. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not going to be very beneficial for the Radiant team if Syl continues to disconnect. We take a look here. Monica has stolen the plasma field. In just a moment, I'm actually gonna bring this up so that I can see what's around. Alright. Zipzap, meanwhile. That's alright, wonderful. Zipzap, meanwhile, is working towards the Desolator. Nearly has that finished up, and that's actually a really greedy first item pick. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out for him, but if he's able to take down buildings incredibly quickly with that, and he might be able to sneak several of these Dire towers while teamfights are happening. We do have a reconnect now on Syl. If we go ahead and look at Luna here, looks like she is going to go for the Dragonlance this game. With the Midas, she should start skyrocketing in net worth pretty quickly, but Booker actually got his 6, and now he's looking at Luna. He has gone ahead and just led with the Impale. That's going to be a complete death there. And actually, Pro gets that last hit. That was stolen from Rubik. Able to get that Ice Blast. But Boy Wonder is still going to end up dying here. No, actually, there's the Is that a blink? No, just a walk in from Syl with the Firefly. Is able to get the Terror Blade. He does have 17 wand charges, but it is not quite enough to keep him alive for a moment. Oh, there is the Sunder. Now he's just going to TP out. He knows that there are no stuns available at this point. And that is the end of that fight. Overall, 2 for 1, but it was just the 2... Oh, the Sunder was stolen. Nice. And he gave Syl back all of her HP. That is going to be a 2 for 1 overall in favor of the Dire, I think, even though they lost 2 since they only lost the supports. And Luna's again going to have this... Oh, not again, not have the negative Midas efficiency. Just has died like 2 or 3 times since picking up that Midas due to big item pickups and big level pickups from the Dire team that weren't really managed as well as it could have been. I mean, just weren't seen, honestly, by the Radiant side. 13, meanwhile, he is working towards an Echo Saber, it looks like. A good way towards the first piece of that, and a regen rune. He's got to be so happy about that. Meanwhile, Mio still farming up ridiculously over here. Has about a third of the way towards his Manta style. And 13 with that regen rune is going to blink here onto Zip Zap. Booker's actually here as well. He's going to go for the Impale, but he's not quite fast enough to make that happen. The Desolator, though, is finished up on Broodmother, which is why she was able to grab... Hasn't grabbed a building yet, but... there's another disconnect from Syl, unfortunately. There's an AA Blast coming towards mid. Is that a Rubik Blast or an AA Blast? That's a Rubik Blast. Mio TPing back up to top lane just to get some nice efficiency out of everything. And we can take a look down here at X, who is... Wait, was Midas cooldown buffed? It's only 100 seconds now? What happened? I thought it was like 130 before. Maybe I'm misremembering. It was 90 at one point, but I thought it got like nerfed way to hell. Zip Zap farming up jungle, just calling in a Clarity, it looks like, so we can ult some creeps and finishing that up. And get his HP back up, rather, so we can start pushing down some buildings. 13, still working on his Echo Saber. Looks like, what is Booker working towards? 4-staff? Probably a 4-staff. X, meanwhile, does have a clip, so if he wants to go for a play here, he can, but he's lost a lot of mana. There is a Blink in as well as an Avalanche from 13. The Avalanche is stolen by the Rubik, who lifted him up before he was able to cast any other spells, and that's going to be the end of this engagement. Everyone just walking away. Boy Wonder has his Tranquils up, and he is working towards a Blink Dagger, I expect. Possibly a Soul Ring, but I expect he would have bought it if that was the case, so... almost definitely either a Blink Dagger or a 4-staff, and I would expect a Blink Dagger out of this hero. Shadow working towards a Vanguard, actually. Not a hero, or not an item you see very often on ranged heroes, except for Razor for, well, for reasons. I'll have to come up with good reasons for that later. Maybe Shadow will help. 13 blinking in, but not quite hitting the combo that he wanted. He uses the Soul Ring there to grab the Toss, but actually the Toss isn't quite going to finish him off. And with the Lift and the Eclipse, Luna is going to survive that rotation. Or that, not even rotation, that attempted kill there. Monica taking Ice Blast to the face, but it doesn't matter. Shatter is going to try to run in with the Plasma Field and finish off Luna, and he just clips X on the very edge. Working on clearing out Monica as well. With all this move speed he gets from the face boost, going to be able to steal 63, 70, 80 damage. He gets lifted back, but 2 more right clicks should do it. Maybe even 1 more, depending on how much he's stolen. 1 more will do it here, and that is the end of the Rubik as well. Good rotation for a double kill to finish off the failed kill earlier. But meanwhile, speaking of the Desolator from before, we do see Zip Zap actually just hitting this tower, and he's going to take it down very quickly. We have a rotation in from 13, who just came back. He's going to blink forward and try for the Avalanche, but not quite hit that up. The Spiderlings are still hitting the tower, and they're going to get grabbed back before... Oh, nope, he is going to get them mostly with that Toss, so he's able to get quite a bit of good farm out of that. Neo, meanwhile, rotating in to go ahead and get a little bit more farm. Has picked up the Manta recipe, so he's only 700 away from his own Manta style. And Boy Wonder here has 1,000 gold in the bank. Still working, I expect, towards that Blink Dagger. And Bat Rider working towards the same thing. Still does have that drum finished up, which is going to mean a lot in these early skirmishes. She's able to get there. Booker scouting out Zip Zap. Not able to kill him on his own, but maybe with some rotation. He can just sit here and scout for a little while. He's got another good 10 seconds. Yeah, duration. Yeah, another 10 seconds on his ult there. But Zip Zap just going to hit creeps and head back towards this mid tower, try to get some more damage onto it. Meanwhile, though, Mio has his... Oh, does not have his Mantis Style. Working towards his Mantis Style still, but very close. Booker did look for the courier there. His ult Vendetta did run out, however, before he was able to actually snipe that off. And yeah, confirmation. Actually, it was an Urn coming out for Boy Wonder, but he is going to go for the Blink Dagger next. We do see Shatter fighting up against Zip Zap here. Has stolen 89 damage, so that is going to force Zip Zap to get off of this tower. But it doesn't matter. Spiderlings with the Desolator do finish it off before he is able to make anything happen. Even missing the deny there for Shatter, unfortunately for him. X, meanwhile, has his Eclipse back up and has finished that Dragon Lance with 900 gold in the bank on top of it. Booker with another Vendetta sitting over here in the Radiant jungle. There are no sentries around to catch him out, and he's actually maybe going to go here on Monica. This is a difficult kill, but he's able to get the stun off, and there's the Avalanche to follow, but there's the fantastic Boulder in, and Rubik might even live here. He just is able to get away, but the toss is going to finish him off. However, with the Lucent Beams and the Eclipse and the Boulders coming in from the supports of the Radiant team, that is going to be the end of 13, as well as Booker over here on the back lines. But Shadow's going to come in and try to finish this up again. He's going to block the roll out by Boy Wonder, just right-click him 2-3 times, and that's going to be the end of him. Salving up Luna on the backside, and is going to try to go for a complete play here onto Shadow. Shadow's into the tower, but he does have quite a bit of damage stolen up. He does have ult, but he's not even electing to use it here, thinking he can get it on his own, and he is correct. He is going to get that kill. Might die to the tower. Nope, that Vanguard actually proccing there to save him up, and the tower is going to go down. Meanwhile, however, Zip Zap taking a T3 hasn't even been noticed yet, it looks like, and that's going to be the end of the T3. They do TP back to base, but no, Shadow, knowing he didn't have any HP going in, was not able to TP and actually save that building. There is going to be an AA Blast coming forward, trying to hit up onto Zip Zap. It is actually going to clip a couple Spiderlings, but not quite going to hit the Broodmother herself. And now there is a mad dash down mid lane by the entire team, trying to chase out this Broodmother, who has been a complete thorn in their side for them. Monica working towards Yule Scepter, actually, before his own Blink Dagger. Probably bought those pieces out as he was dying. It looks like Zip Zap is scouted out here by Booker, who is going to go ahead and get the Impale off. 13 coming in with the Avalanche follow-up, and that is finally the end of the disgusting Spider. Still a fort able to hold up for the moment. Oh, still has disconnected again. That's unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunately, even with all the work that that Radiant are putting in towards these towers, without their Bat Rider, I'm not sure if they're able to really pull this out. They're certainly going to make a good show of it, though. Monica stealing a Plasma Field, ain't able to get back up, doing a lot of damage to Shatter. In the meanwhile, there's going to be the roll forward. Shatter going to dodge it, but the ult comes out from Boy Wonder. One more Boulder should, yep, that's going to proc the extra damage, and doing it once again, doing so much damage to 13 here. He has no more Boulders here, so that's the end. He's going to go ahead and kick 13 away, though, not even needing to use the Urn Charge to finish him off there. So these Radiant supports putting in hella work to make this happen for them. Pro Forceback is working. What is he working towards? I presume an Aghanims. I mean, that should be an Aghanims, right? It's definitely not a Midas. Not at 21 minutes. Mio, meanwhile, does have his Dragon Lance finished up. That might turn into a Pike, but unlikely. One ward coming out for Boy Wonder. Getting an Invisor in too, actually. So he's able to come up and scout out Mio here, who doesn't have mana. It does have mana for Asunder. And actually, he's going to go ahead and TP away. Not quite soon enough on that on that Boulder Smash for Boy Wonder to cancel that TP. And it looks like they are just going to farm up with Silver here. Try to use Bat Rider's body, even without the bats actually in presence. Oh, they sold his items. I guess still is not going to be able to come back to this game. That's really unfortunate. Zip Zap, though, using that extra gold very much in his favor. Getting that Orc up very quickly. He does speed a bunch of Spiderlings there, but he's able to make them up pretty quickly again on the backside. He's running away, but he did get purged up. He goes ahead and casts the Orchid onto Shatter, but it's not really going to do anything after his spells are all cast. There's the boulder roll out, as well as the dodge through the trees for the free pathing. But Boy Wonder might be chased up here by Shatter, who does have the Purge available, and there's the Blink also trying to deny to Ancients, but it's not going to happen. Zip Zap heading back towards the mid lane, only has 6 damage stolen this time, and was considering doing making some plays in mid, but he was spotted out by 13 before he could get to pros, before pro, and was afraid of Shatter coming in to wreck his face, so he did not manage to get anything done. Meanwhile, Mio cleaning up in the bottom lane, finishing off the Rubik and running after X here. X is going for a TP. Let's see if they're able to get the Impale. Nope, Impale was still on cooldown at the time, not able to see what was going on. Mid lane, however, they are going to go after Zip Zap. The Orchid is now done for, or is now off of Shatter, which means he can cast that Plasma Field, and he's going to go ahead and do that to finish off, actually 13 tossing to finish off Broodmother. And Still's body being used to get some more creep gold, but it doesn't look like that's transferring to their team properly. I'm not sure what's up with that. 13, meanwhile, sitting over in the back line, does have his Echo Saber working towards a Shadow Blade, and just waiting for an opportunity to go in, but I think he's waiting for the creeps to push in the other lanes as well. There is a dearth of mana boots on this Radiant team. Like, there's one for Ancient, but A is never really going to be with a team. And they don't have those up on Nyx. He opted to go for that Soul Ring instead. So they are a little bit mana starved, but they are starting to push into this T3 regardless. Shatter getting pulled back with the Lucent Beam. He's going to take a lot of damage here. The Boulder Smash is not quite going to connect on him, but there is going to be a roll. Shatter's able to dodge the roll, but it doesn't matter. There's an Avalanche on 2. There's an Ice Blast coming in, but it's not going to hit anybody. The Silence actually coming onto the Shatter, doing a lot of damage, and one more right click, and one more Urn Tick. Oh, man, so close there. Just losing vision on that Lucent Beam, but the ult is then used out from 13. Monica capturing... Oh, he's not able to go up the high ground, actually, seeing Booker around. Booker's going to go for the Impale on 2, but only gets Boy Wonder. He does get the Mana Burn. He gets kicked back and then Force Staffs himself away and ends up dying to tower shots. And everyone did roughly equal damage. So they all get the credit for that, getting quite a bit of gold off of him. So many close calls. Actually, we lost Broodmother as well. Looks like everyone's sort of noping out at this point. So this probably is going to end pretty quickly. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to nope out afterwards. I got to sleep in the morning. There's an Ice Blast into the fountain, and they're just waiting for it to end. They can GG out, but I guess they're gonna drag it. Monica coming in, casting that Avalanche. He's gonna lift up Shatter there. Boy Wonder TP, or blinking in as well, casting his ult, getting as many procs off of that as he can. The Yules comes in by who? From Rubik onto Shatter, holding him in place. There's gonna be the roll to slow him down as well. And he is going to eventually go down here. A little bit of greed by the Radiant, or by the Dire team. Trying to push up without all their heroes. Wait. Boy Wonder died to the Ice Blast, I guess, in the back lines as well. And there's 3k gold on the Ancient Apparition. What is he buying? Meanwhile, Mio pushing out the top lane with his illusions. And has a Scotty finished up, working towards that butterfly as well. We are going to see the end of Booker here. Was he invis? He probably tried to go on to Rubik and got lifted. And yeah, Mio just farming up and getting ready to end this game. But man, really sad they lose so many heroes, or so many players in this. Not typical for these in-houses. Even if one, has to leave for lag problems, usually either everyone will say, GG out, or just one, or, they'll continue playing. Rubik does have the damage steal here, and he's actually stealing quite a bit. Mio not going to do anything with damage, and he is not quite able to get that Sunder off. Just dying to the permanent stuns and silences of the Radiant supports. And X actually farming up quite well for himself here at this point. Has his Yasha completed, working towards his own Manta style. Keeping up in net worth with a Terrorblade, although saying, you know, Luna with a Midas, the fact that Terrorblade is actually out farming her is very impressive in its own right. 13, meanwhile, is going to go ahead and start pushing out bottom lane. I'm going to make use of that Fortified push as well, and it looks like they might go for the second Fortify to actually burst that high ground. Monica's TPing back. Luna does not have a TP available, but is going to go to the shop here and buy one up. Boy Wonder doesn't have a TP for 23 seconds, so it is going to be just the two heroes over here. There's going to be the Yules up onto 13. Shatter going in for the static link. Zipzap's body being used to right-click, and actually right-click hard. Shatter does almost burst down to the Orchid and ends up dying to the tower in the end. And no tower for the Dire team just yet. Not able to go back and get those shrines as a result. 13 still farming up, does have money for Shadowblade, hasn't bought it yet, probably saving up for buyback at this point, so it is nearing 30 minutes. And Pro went for a Kaya all at once, and not the Aghanims that he almost had. Okay. I was sure he was just going to buy an Aghanims like in one piece, but went for the Kaya instead. Boy Wonder, meanwhile, has another 1200 gold in his pocket. Monica has that Blink Dagger completed on top of the Yules, and it has another 1800 gold on the side as well. The Manta coming out now for Luna. Here we go. Now Still's money has properly started. Almost properly started. Being transferred. I guess maybe that doesn't happen in houses or in lobbies. I don't know. I have not actually seen this enough to know what the result of that is. Monica, meanwhile, has thrown up the static link. It looks like there was an attempt to kill on Boy Wonder here, but it was not really enough to make anything happen. Booker, meanwhile, is being chased around. There's going to be a blink in from 13 with a two-man avalanche, but there's going to be the Manta style. The A-Blast come in, going to hit onto just the Luna, but Luna's a big hero to get, and they are able to finish her out before the Eclipse finishes off the rest of the Dire team, and nobody on the Dire team dies. Nope, strike that. The Spider is used to go ahead and pick off Pro on the back lines, but he already did his job, and GG is finally called. Zipsop's body still staying alive for the time being, but Dire do want to kill it. Mid lane, meanwhile, since the Radiant heroes are all dead, Mio's just pushing it out with Booker, getting these catapults dead, and probably going to go up the high ground as soon as he has creeps, which is not for a while, actually. And Zipzap might even be used to cut those with that. Oh, he's going to attempt a Roshan here. I'm not sure if, you know, maybe. This lasts for a little while. Probably going to get a third of Roshan done before Insatiable Hunger's gone. Don't know if it's going to be enough in the end, but you know, it's a good attempt. We're probably going to see another Blink Magnetize coming out for Earth Spirit here. And yep, that is what goes up. After the Magnetize, he stuns everybody up with a fantastic Boulder Smash, and no silences yet. He's going to pull that silence in, and actually it dies before he gets a chance to roll away and pull that silence back. Monica being gone on here as well, is able to dodge the Ice Blast. Shatter pretty low. Luna does die, however, to the Shatter, or rather, to the Ice Blast Shatter, not to Shatter. And this should be the end of the first set of racks for the Dire team. Monica is able to steal out the tree grab, actually, this time. Not something you see Rubik skip very often. Well, not something I see Rubik skip very often, but I don't see Rubik played much these days anyway. Tree is used on 13 as he blinks in, but the Avalanche does catch Rubik, and that is going to be the end of Monica as well. That's, we're able to get the Aegis and have left it in the pit.
Middle tower is taking.
Yep, definitely going to keep that in mind for the future. Shatter does end up going down to the Broodmother, and the Broodmother is going to lose the Aegis. Oh, it didn't say anyone picked up the Aegis. Usually it does. I guess maybe it doesn't on these. And Zip Zap's still trying to do some work, but, or rather, somebody using Zip Zap's body still trying to do some work, but not really going to be able to make anything happen out of it. There's going to be the AA Blast, but it is dodge. Boy Wonder rolling out to try to kill some creeps up, and this will be the end of the Ancients. GG, well played, both teams. I unfortunately have to go to bed, but there will be more games, almost definitely.